Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. All right, clear my throat. Oh, back from tennis. I am knackered today. I must confess. I must confess. I must say, it is unusual, isn't it? Starting work at midnight. Oh, there seems to be a little bit of a lag or a delay. Let me just see. Hopefully that will settle down. You're all here in the chat, so nice to see you. Someone said it's very smoky here in Michigan too. What's going on? Let's just see here. Greetings from Central Alberta. Oh, I'm getting. Do you see? It's just a little bit. Crikey. Let me know. Can you hear me okay? There seems to be a little bit of a delay. I've closed down a few pages. Hopefully that's going to settle down. Oh, bugger. Someone's saying someone is hacking your channel. Who? You know, there's interesting things going on. Oops. Yeah, some people saying they see the lag. Oh, fuck. Yeah, someone's saying just a little bit. Vocals fine. Oh, Ontario has almost 200. What? Oh my God, the chat's just going an absolute flash. 1 minute. See if I can click on that. It's just a bit lagged. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to fix that. Someone's saying, please hit the like button. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like this lag. I'm trying to think, what can I do? Because we're live now, isn't it? So it's not like I can hear you. Oh, crikey. Yeah, hold on to the obsidian. What is going on? I wonder if there's just stuff in the background that is adding to things. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That's the trouble with a live show. It's live. You can't fix things on the live show. Seems to have calmed down a little bit now. Let me just move my finger. There's a little bit of a lag. Yeah. Go out. Someone's saying go out and come back in. Some people saying I'm not getting any and that the vocals are great. And some people saying it's fine here. I'm not getting the lag. Some people are saying. So, okay, I will just keep going. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. We will muddle through Mercury retrograde, all that jazz, live shows. This is why the vast majority of content you see on YouTube is pre-recorded. Yeah, because when you do live, I say to people, it is a high wire act. Anything can happen. You can, and if you get any technical issue, that's it. Your live, your technical issues happen in front of everyone. But you know where you're going with me. Oh, by the way, all right, okay. In fact, someone has brought something to my attention that the UK government is up to, and I'm going to mention because I'm actually going to be starting a Patreon page soon because of all of this BS that us YouTubers are seeing online, where they're trying to curtail and cut down on alternative voices, shall we say, that don't toe the official lines. Let's put it that way. Anyway, since you're all here, let's just dive into the show and not waste any time. We'll just have to go with it as usual. Where's my question number one? All right, so straight away we're going to Canada. Yeah, and at the moment there is almost 600 of you in the live chat. So thank you everyone for joining me. Let me just move my camera a little bit, center it off a little bit. All right, so Jerry Geld, yes, thank you so much for your question. She says, Canada is currently in crisis with devastating wildfires. US response, not help but blame for how it's affecting them. Once again, threats to sovereignty have been made, and an Ohio senator is introducing a bill to impose sanctions. Really? Sanctions against Canada for wildfires, which are brought on by hot weather, which is a big part of climate change. And the US, of course, as we know, has been one of the biggest contributors to climate change anywhere in the world, obviously, along with China, which is now #1. But there's allegedly they have 1.4 billion people. They don't, by the way. That's something else. It's still a lot. And what has Trump been? All drill, baby drill, and burn, baby burn, and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh, someone's saying that Ohio is a red state. Yeah. Someone says Suzanne is saying stay safe in the areas in Canada where the bushfires are. Yes, bless. And then someone here is saying Ohio is a red state. Innocent potato. Let's take a look. So anyway. So an Ohio senator is introducing a bill to impose sanctions. Will saner heads prevail to reverse these anti-Canada sentiments? Oh God, let me just sip some liquid. It's just diabolical, isn't it? Diabolical. These people are just. Anyway, what's going on? Here we go. All right. Oh, first of all, I need to get my deck out. I'm loving going for the real classic deck. Right, original Rider-Waite. You guys know this one. Oh, I don't like this slight delay, but what can I do? We're live now. We're here together, so we'll muddle through, guys. We'll muddle through. Live TV. All right, let's have a chop. Let's see what's going on. Canada is currently in crisis with devastating wildfires. US respond not to help but blame for how it's affecting them. Once again, threats to sovereignty have been made. An Ohio senator is introducing a bill to impose sanctions. Will saner heads ever prevail or reverse this anti-Canada sentiments? Oh. Let's have a look. So let's see what's going on. All right, I see what's going on here. All right, I see what's going on. Let's get in on a closer zoom. All right, folks. So look, in regards to Canada, yeah. Sorry, folks, again for this slight. I'll try and keep the thingy bob still. Little bit of a lag going on here. Let's just click off that as well. So we see here, look, we've got the Five of Pentacles, which is the card of what? Sickness, disease, or feeling out in the cold. So this is an attempt to isolate Canada. Yeah, it's an attempt to isolate Canada, to impoverish Canada, to hurt Canada, to belittle Canada. They can't be blamed for wildfires. No country can be blamed for wildfires and sanctioned. And obviously we know that this doesn't apply to the majority of America, but it's just the thinking behind it is to embarrass Canada. It's to just make them feel less than. Yeah, this is a global issue. Sorry if I'm chopping out a little bit. Oh, Christ. Anyway, we look here. The next card is the Hierophant. So this deals with things like government, official institutions. It deals with protocols, the usual ways of doing things. Now, this can also show as well that potentially Canada is going to retaliate in some kind of diplomatic kind of way, a way that is appropriate for Canada. Yeah, let's put it that way. There is also an element here where government officials will get involved. I think there'll be coordination. There could even be an element as well where maybe Canada starts talking to California, yeah, because I think California helped out in Canada's last fires, and Canada helped California, wasn't it? When there was, do you remember there was that big wind that came up and half of Los Angeles, not half of Los Angeles, but a good chunk of real estate was lost, isn't it, in Los Angeles? Was that a few years ago now? The timelines are so quick, but you remember the one, a lot of people lost their homes. Canada came in to help. So this could be, because this talks about government, this talks about officials. I sense that Canada will be finding other states in America that are allies. Yeah. If we look here, again, we've got the Six of Pentacles. So here it is the wealthy merchant dishing out here. So already we've seen this card of the Five of Pentacles there being out in the cold. And then here we get the card of charity, etc. So, you know, it really, Canada should be being assisted. This is about investing too in protocols that can prevent more forest fires in the future. And in a way, it's so interesting because it's like the red state of Ohio is like, it's like this senator is trying to make up that they are the rich one and that Canadians are the poor ones. But actually, I think it's the other way around. Let's not forget all of that timber that comes from Canada, all that water, all that electricity. You know, I think this person, this senator in the red state, is trying to suck up to his paymaster. Yeah, he's trying to impress Donald Trump. I think he's expecting some kind of elevation or handout. Yeah. If we look here, we got this. We got the Seven of Wands. So Canada's really going to have to defend itself. It's going to have to defend its position. And again, remember, wands also deal with fire. Yeah, fire, heat, passion. So you could say that this Seven of Wands is literally Canada trying to almost beat down the flames, beat down the fires that are affecting them. And then if we look here, sorry guys if it's a little bit choppy on your side. If we look here, we get the Four of Cups. Yeah, this is talking about not liking the options on the table. Yeah, not liking the options on the table. Being forced to consider things that one wouldn't normally think about. I think, of course, this is connected with the response, yeah, that the Canadians have had from Ohio. I'm sure they're very disappointed. So yeah, sorry about that, folks. In terms of will smarter heads prevail, I mean, there'll be sensible stuff coming from the Canadians, but I think from Ohio, you can't really expect that. I think everyone is sort of positioning. I think everyone is positioning in Trump's corrupt regime. I think that's what's going on. Canada will do the right thing, but red states, forget about it. What am I going to do here? I don't like this choppiness. If I were to restart my computer, though, that would take a few minutes, and then we'll just have this blank section in the live show, and that just can't work. I just have to keep going. So frustrating, guys. Sorry about this. I'm noticing it's a bit choppy. Anyway, let's cross this off. Let's see here. Let's look at question number 2. So this is coming from Manuela Orchid. Yeah, and she's asking about the UK economy. So she says, "Dear Hoagie, would you read tonight?" Let me get the comments up. She said, "Would you read tonight on the UK now? I understand you didn't last time because it's just unbelievable much happening in the USA, but thank you. If you can read on the economy in the UK and the needs for Brits, like health systems, etc. Much love, Manuela. You do seem to be quite interested in our health service, don't you, Manuela? And I think Nick Mix replied to that and said that the UK economy is doing quite good. Let's take a look. I think this is, so just so you know, for you guys that are watching, a certain Andy Burnham has been sworn in as the leader of the Labour Party today, which means he is effectively the Prime Minister. He will be sworn in on Monday, yeah, and he will decide his cabinet. So there's a lot going on in British politics. So let's just see, let's weave Andy Burnham in as part of that economic question. Yeah, makes sense, because of course if he's going to be the new Prime Minister, he's going to have a new economic vision for the UK. So I may as well read on that and blend that together, yeah, with Manuela's question. Let's put this on here. All right. Will Andy Burnham further add to the UK economy? He's got some concepts of number 10 North, and I really do believe that the north of England has been severely neglected over the years, guys. I would just be like, I'm very passionate about it, because I believe that we should have a more balanced economy. It can't just be all London. And don't get me wrong, I live in London, I love London, but we are overserved. Really, we are. We have superb transport now. Trains, buses, everything, airports, the whole lot. It's time for the rest of the country to benefit. So let's see, what can Andy Burnham do? Can he deliver for the UK economy? Andy Burnham, UK economy. Can he deliver? Can he rebalance? Can he recalibrate so the success reaches more people? Let's have a look. Oh, well. All right, this is interesting. Again, forgive the blurring. If we look here, we have the Hanged Man. Yeah, the Hanged Man is not a fast card. Yeah, it's not a card of speed. But the Hanged Man can also talk about gaining a different perspective. So I think what Andy Burnham is going to do, he's going to take a different perspective. He's going to have a different perspective on the UK economy. Yeah, this is what I think is going to happen. It also shows that he's prepared to be maybe a little bit unconventional. This can also be the card of like getting unusual insights, yeah, because when you're upside down, you see the world differently. And what is interesting is Andy Burnham has been very successful in Manchester. He's much loved in Manchester, and they're calling it Manchester Economics or something like that. So I think the perspective he gained as mayor of Manchester is going to give him insights of what to do for the UK economy. So we're going to have more devolution. Apparently, we're going to have more powerful local leaders that will decide where budgets go. Yeah, so far, so good. If we look here, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. So this is the card of what? Being studious, working hard. This is a hard-working card. So this is a card that you would want to see in the new Prime Minister. Diligent, working away. Also as well, and this is obviously a card asking about the economy. He is going to work hard for the economy. Yeah, he's going to try and help working people. Yeah, he's going to be working very hard because he understands that it is part of his reputation. Oh, there's 898 of you here so far. If we look here, next card out is the Chariot. Yeah, so he's going to move forward at pace. I think once he's got his feet under the table, I think Burnham's going to let rip. Now, if we think he's going to be sworn in on Monday, and then he'll also have to declare his cabinet. So things are moving very fast for him right now. Yeah. If we look here, though, look, there is an element of the Wheel of Fortune here. But you'll notice here, the Phoenix is on the top, which means that the inclination is more to good luck. So I'm going to say that he's probably going to get about 6 to 8 months of relatively smooth passage. But his fortunes still hang in the balance. He's really going to have to deliver. Remember, no one is in control of the Wheel of Fortune. But if we look here, on the next page, he gets the Four of Wands, yeah, which is a card of what? Reaching a milestone. This is my card for the White House, but this can also be any kind of house of power in a nation. So this, of course, is Andy Burnham arriving in 10 Downing Street. Yeah, and being sworn in as Prime Minister. He used to be part of the government before, but this is also a card of what? Celebration, reaching a milestone. He's done it. Yeah, he's reached it. So I would say that is looking pretty good. Yeah, all the cards I've pulled for Andy Burnham have been pretty good. Let me put here Andy Burnham. So Burnham effect. All right. Let's look in question number 3. In fact, let me just bring some of you in. Someone saying Canada would be okay. We are tough and stubborn. Let's just see here. Someone says, oh, come on. What's going on with that? Oh, honestly, is this psychic attack tonight? I mean, honestly, you just never know. Brendan Murphy said, well, sometimes I can really feel your energy in my energy, and I live in Tuscan. You would be surprised at how the GOP gets away with stuff here. Yeah, exactly. Too much. Ridiculous. Well, you know how strongly I feel about these things. All right, let's go to question number 3. Let's have a little look, see what's going on. I changed all the numbers around, didn't I? Now I can't see where I bloody wrote number 3. Where did I put you? That was where's number 3? Because I went and chopped and changed all the numbers around. Oh, here we are. Oh, here's number 3. Okay, now thanks so much, Cynthia. Yeah, thanks so much, Cynthia, for your question. I think you're a new person asking. Now listen to this. Yeah. Oh, okay. Listen to this. Cynthia says, hi, Hoagie, was just wondering if you saw this. The UK government has announced a new prominence regime that would artificially boost visibility for state-approved broadcasters on YouTube at the expense of independent UK-based creators. That's people like me. YouTube is opposed to this. Another UK YouTuber talked about it today. I hope it won't affect your channel. Oh, do you see these forces of Araman? Yeah, these corporate forces, how they're trying to control and brainwash everybody, these bastards. Anyway, let me just share my screen with you so you can see, because I took a little look up on this. Oh, silly me. I bloody closed it down, didn't I? 1 minute. On Momento. Maybe I can find it in history. What is it called? Prominence. 1 second. UK prominent regime. All right, so here we are. I'm going to share my screen with you. Did a little bit of Google. It always does the AI, but what can we do? Anyway, here we go. The UK prominence regime is a modernized regulatory framework established under the Media Act 2024. So this is a new act that ensures public service broadcasting, PSB apps, such as BBC, iPlayer, ITVX, and Channel 4 are available and easily discoverable on major connected TV platforms, streaming sticks, and set-top boxes. They already have their own YouTube channels, by the way. Yeah. So here, the must offer and must carry obligations. Designated TV platform operators are legally required to carry major PSP services on their user interfaces, while broadcasters must offer their services to these platforms. Appropriate prominence. Platforms must ensure that the designated PSP content and apps are highly visible and easy to navigate for viewers, rather than being buried under third-party or proprietary apps. Ofcom enforcement. The independent regulator Ofcom is tasked with implementing the rules, managing dispute resolution, and ensuring platforms accommodate accessibility features. Now, the thing is, you know what's so annoying about this AI search thing is that it gives you something slightly different each time. Because when the first version that I had clicked up on, and then I accidentally closed down, yeah, because I was because obviously I was looking at the internet speed. It said, what it actually said was, in the first time round, was that, let me increase my light a little bit, was that these official channels were to be given prominence, yeah, preference over independent publishers or independent content creators like myself. So I wasn't expecting to say it now, but given the question and given the legislation that has been passed, in the not too distant future, folks, I'm going to be setting up a Patreon page. Because, and this was suggested to me, oh, his name's just gone out of my head, but thank you so much for that email recommendation that you sent to me. And I actually pulled some cards on it, and the cards were very positive. People, independent folks like myself, independent channels like myself, we are being censored. The AI is becoming increasingly sophisticated. And as this act shows, they want official narratives to be given more prominence. It wasn't quite showing it on that iteration, but on the one previously that I looked at, it said they were to be given preference. YouTube is pushing against this because, of course, it's in their interest to support independent content. That's always been the case on YouTube, pretty much. And someone mentioned this to me in an email, because they said Psychic Violetta apparently is struggling to keep her channel. Like, apparently YouTube are threatening to close it down. And this person said to me just last week, Hoagie, you probably should consider doing a Patreon, because if they were to come after your channel, what recourse would you have? And I remember sitting there thinking, you know what, this person's right. And I talked about it with my partner. And then I pulled some cards on it. And the cards were very, very encouraging. We're also in Balbert's basket, yeah, which is actually now, well, no, 19th of July. That's when Jupiter moves in to kind of like basically seal that basket. And do you remember how I said the corporate powers are going to be using that trine, yeah, the corporate powers, the Pluto, yeah, Pluto in sidereal Capricorn, trining Uranus in sidereal Taurus. Do you remember I said they're going to use that trine, that tech, they're going to try and use the tech to control. And now we see how the UK government is passing these things. So once this Patreon is ready, I'm going to let you guys know. And on it, I'll be able to give you guys the content that I've always wanted to give you, which is lifting up the lid in the kuni nitty gritty, all in there stuff. Yeah. On that Patreon, you'll be getting the stuff that I can't say on YouTube. And obviously in my membership, I can say a little bit more. But remember, it's still on the platform where we're all being monitored. And I'm sick and tired of this stuff, because what they try and do is they try and starve these channels. Yeah, because they don't want the truth to come out, because the vibration is rising up. Anyway, so I thought I would share that. So, Yeah, she's saying, I hope it won't affect my channel. Let's just pull a few cards to see how this is going to affect, because of course it's not just me. You know, I have my guests on. We've got Lena, we've got Sheila, Lady G, FFA. We've got Tarot by the Bay. Yeah. We've got Dave Moonride. Of course. Oh my God, my brain's just gone absolutely blank. Susan Lynn, yeah, she's doing good on her channel. She has a very successful channel, but they're trying it on. Let's put it that way. I've never done a collab with Psychic Violetta. I think I approached her some time ago. I don't think she got the email, but you know, no one deserves that, to have their channel shut down. All right, so let's do this. Right. So what's going on with this? Huh? UK regulations. What are they doing as part of this corporate shutdown of independent voices? Oh, I see. I don't think it's going to quite work for them. All right. So look at this. Surprise, surprise. We get the Two of Wands. Now remember, twos are all about what? Making decisions. Yeah, making decisions. Let me just move the camera a bit here. It's all about making what? Making decisions, making plans. You can see here. So these are the corporations, yeah, using their proxy and their propaganda channels. And they're like, how can we impose our will globally? Yeah, YouTube is one of the biggest platforms. Let me just, oh God, what's going on here? This thing, I've got this thing on a magnet. Jesus Christ. It's on a magnet. Oh God, it's so sensitive, this stuff. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Oh, I see what's happened. It's not. Oh, extra camera. Sorry, guys. Share. Add to stage. Anyway, as I was saying, these are the corporate powers that are seeing how they can further increase their domination globally. Yeah, they're putting the plans together. Just in case we weren't sure, look at this. We get the Three of Pentacles, which of course is the card of what? Collaboration. Again, working together, trying to execute a plan. So a lot of these executives, yeah, in these top media companies, which are, you know, the official sanctioned channels, are what? Propagating the established line, yeah? That which is the accepted doctrine. Remember too as well, this is a church. Remember as well, church can also deal with dogma. Threes also deal with money. And here you can see you've got the probably the commissioner here wearing the cloak. Here would be the architect, and this is the person doing the work. So these will be their journalists, their spokespersons, carrying out their directives, and they are trying to dictate to YouTube who should have more prominence. Yeah, you notice in here as well, the church inside is pitch black. You notice there's nothing else in here. So this can also talk about the darkness. Yeah, the darkness, the underbelly. God, these people are outrageous. However, if we look here, though, there's going to be a bit of pushback, potentially even a little bit of legal challenge. Also, as well, independent YouTubers like myself might start complaining, writing emails and stuff like that. The Queen of Swords is about being astute, yeah, being sharp. As you know, I associate the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords with accounting as well. So I think people like myself will have to start writing to YouTube and be like, guys, what is going on? Yeah, this is supposed to be an independent platform, because what's going to happen is this. Oh God, come on, bloody camera. I think honestly, I think this is some sabotage here. It's getting worse. Anyway, when you see here, when I'm talking about the powers that be, and I get even more interference, when us YouTubers right to YouTube, which I may be inclined to do in the future if this BS is allowed to continue. And when I say to them, I'm taking off my content and I'm putting it on Patreon, and my followers are following me there, then you are not going to make money off my channel anymore, YouTube. This is what's going to happen. So I think there's going to be pushback here. If we look, we have the Death card. This is about a transformation that cannot be avoided. So they really want to kind of transform this platform. They want it really to be much more state regime propaganda. This also means as well, this could also speak for people like myself who have YouTube channels, that maybe we are facing a transformation that can't be avoided. Yeah, we're going to have to go potentially on more alternatives. Don't get me wrong, I'm not closing down my YouTube channel and stuff like that, but I'm just saying maybe my most relevant and pertinent content will be there. It's gonna have to be protected because they want us dead. Yeah, quite literally, they don't want independent voices. However, if we look here though, we see here with the Judgment card, there is a great awakening as more and more people realize when they watch YouTubes and that some of their favorite people are being targeted. You know, this can also be a wake-up call for those that support channels like mine. And this is why it's so important as well. And if you've not done so already, to hit not only the like, but also the subscribe. Remember, the subscribe is free. And the bell notification, and click all, because that really makes the algorithm pay attention. But I just see it, the way I interpret this Death card, it's just like, no, the transformation is here. They're determined to what? Trample the independent underfoot. So we independents need to transform and come up with alternatives. Yeah, you know, not, you know, it's annoying, isn't it? It's frustrating, but it also shows that it's powerful, doesn't it? Right, now let's get into FBI and Lindsey Graham, and then we're going to talk a bit about Taco Bell. Oh, let me drink another bit more liquid. And let's bring some of you in on the chat. What's that? No Kamsa Bonsa. So someone's saying here, Lisa Sims is saying, yeah, staying inside in Ohio till the air quality improves. But we did just get some rain, so maybe that will help the air improve. Yes, rain will definitely help. Carolyn saying, prayers to Canada, love my neighbors to the north. Indeed. So many thunderstorms, France, let's see. Manwich is saying, my heart goes out to our Canadian sisters and brothers. It has been hard to live above the crack house. Yeah, you can imagine. Yeah. Let's see. Someone's saying here, love Jamie Raskin. So Libby Webb. Oh, thank you. Yellingfield says, everyone take a minute to do a protection on Hoagie and the broadcast. Thank you. I know these bastards. What's this here? Brenda Murphy. Tornado terrorists the earth is revolting with the way we treat our Mother Earth. Oh, indeed, yeah. What's this? Oh, let's click on this. Foggy Yog says, when Ms. Lindsay got hit by the press before he went overseas, I saw the snippet and had a premonition. Then, sure enough, I don't like those premonitions. The other two times was famous people I liked. Wow. And do you remember, well, many of you pointed it out. Do you remember on that, what was it? It was my last Friday fry up, wasn't it? Do you remember I had the moth in the kitchen and then the ladybird that flew on me? Do you remember? I was like, oh, yeah. And I think he died on the Saturday, wasn't it? So all of that stuff would have been brewing at that time. All right. So Yellingfeld says, Can you read on why the FBI descended on Lindsey Graham's house and searched it extensively for a day if he had a heart attack? Who let him in? What did they take? Was the search even legal? Will family object? Yeah, good question. And apparently Trump gave his speech, doesn't he? Oh, I just didn't even bother. Don't even want to hear this guy. He's exhausted. I think he even, when I tune in with Trump's energy, even he's exhausted with all this BS, you know, but he's got no choice. He's got no choice. The netty has got this guy over a barrel. And honestly, I think if he could get rid of the netty, he would. Do you remember when there was those question marks whether Nettie was alive or not? Trump certainly didn't seem. He looked like a man that had all of his burdens lifted. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they got the body double in there. Apparently, that's what they do these days. They have wheel one out there. When that body dies, they get the next one. I don't put anything beyond these. Oh, honestly, I don't put anything there. FBI Lindsey, what's going on? FBI Lindsey. Maybe some of you are sending energy. It seems to have. I know it's still frozen a little bit, but I appreciate the protection anyway. Let's get the old obsidian. Oh, and let's do a bit of Shakespeare on Lindsey Graham as well. I know he's dead, but he wasn't a nice man. Let's have a look. Lindsey Graham, FBI. What's going on here? Lindsey Graham, FBI. I'm going to have to pull a clarify here. All right. First card out. Sword of Truth. Yeah. Well, he's dead. Yeah. No one can hide it. It's just there. It's not like with the Mitch McConnell, where they're keeping the body cooking and all of this stuff. I saw that Photoshop picture, by the way, of him next to his so-called wife, and he was looking completely airbrushed and lifted. Honestly, he should start advertising after antifreeze. He should start advertising face cream, because he looked about 10 years younger. He's 84. He looked about 74. Yeah, it was an improvement. Anyway, nipped and tucked and pulled and airbrushed and everything. It was ridiculous. But anyway, so look, the truth is out. It can't be hidden. He's dead. Yeah. Ace of Swords. However, look, things moving quickly. The Eight of Wands. This can also talk about things flying through the air. Now, do you remember also as well, I associate this with missiles and stuff like that. He had just come back from Ukraine. Yeah. Remember, he just come back from Ukraine. And I think he said Russia shouldn't have nuclear weapons and all of this kind of stuff. And wasn't it funny? Wasn't it interesting? He was pictured, was it a day before he died, with a drone? It was a drone or something like that. Anyway, so we see that energy there, just in case we were not sure. Yeah, Four of Swords. Now, you guys know this is my card that deals more with death than even the death card. But it also talks about... for me, this also means, particularly when I'm reading on politics, the ending of a career. Yeah, in which case both are true for Lindsey Graham. His career is over and he's dead at the same time. And you can see it here. What this also tells me as well is that there was a truth that he revealed, and whatever powers, probably powers overseas, yeah, because you see here, look, it's flying, yeah, it's got energy of overseas, where they were like, this guy needs to go, yeah, this guy needs to go. If we look here, we have the Strength card. Look, is the FBI going to do anything about this? Of course they're not. It's run by Kash Patel, who's a podcaster, who's a stooge for Duck L'Orange. So unless they can turn it into some kind of narrative that suits their agenda, yeah, But I think this is them just about holding firm, you know, putting the people in there. I mean, even if they did know it was some foreign interference and stuff, what are they going to do about it anyway? Yeah, their job is to what? Protect Trump. Yeah, this is the lion, which can also talk about the leader. Yeah, and if we look here, we get another major arcana card, and it is the Hermit. This is the card of going within, yeah, doing research. So what it is, they probably went into his house, took a look at some of his information, details, any compromat that was either on him, pardon me, or compromat that may have been on others, yeah. Could be a certain compromat on maybe a certain duck l'orange. Let's put a clarifier on that. Let's put a clarifier on that. What kind of compromat potentially did... Oh, look what fell out. Look what fell out. Card of scheming and collaboration. Lindsey Graham was working with others. Let's see what else is there. Look at that. Oh my God. I can't prove it, but there's clearly something more going on here under the bonnet. Let's see what else can we find. Ah! Oh, shivers. All right. As you guys know, I have to say what I see. I was shuffling the deck, and what happened? 3 of Pentacles fell out. And what did I say? I said Lindsey Graham was collaborating, colluding with others behind the scenes. He may have even been a double agent. Triple maybe. But from what I understand, he was speaking out against Russia. He had his own agreement, I don't know, with the Kushners or something like that or whatnot, or maybe some kind of private arms deal. Who knows? As everyone says, Lindsey Graham never met a war that he didn't like. Yeah, so he was in there in the mix, part of the plan. Yeah, so this is, again, remember, this is the reading on the what were the FBI investigating. Yeah, what were they researching in that Hermit card. We look here, the next card here is what? The Knight of Cups, which is a card of messaging. Yeah, his messaging had changed and someone didn't like it. Yeah, and then look, his outcome card, the Death card. So they're like, enough. Let me tell you something, guys. Again, I'm not a major conspiracy theorist, but I want to tell you this. Do you know that there are certain chemicals that you can rub on certain things, either on a person or a doorknob or whatever, that can cause heart attacks? But what we've got to remember is that this wasn't a heart attack as such. His heart stopped beating, which is something slightly different. I can't remember what they call it, aortic arrhythmia or what have you. And it came on very, very quick. Yeah, it came on very, very quick. When you look at those cards, and particularly when you see this, yeah, like I said, the 4 of Swords, which for me is a more Death card than the Death card, and the Death card in the same reading for entertainment purposes only. Yeah. And look what's at the base of the deck. Yeah. 8 of Swords. Got himself into a pickle. You got yourself in too deep, didn't you, Lindsay? And then when you changed your tune, that was it. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have gone on those trips to Russia and all that compromat and all that stuff. But, you know, rest in peace, either way. Like to say, don't speak ill of the dead. Not, I don't expect him to come to me in dreams. But it was interesting that I got the omen, wasn't it, that he passed? But obviously we couldn't work it out at the time. We didn't know that he was actually going to kick the bucket. But with the moth and then with the ladybird, that was it. All right, let's see here. Taco Bell. Let's talk about the exploding diarrhea. 972 of you here in the chat. Thanks for sticking with me with this slightly choppiness going on. Forgive me, but at least the cards are showing up good, huh? All right, let's have a slurp. All right, Nick Minks. Oh, and isn't there one on? Oh, yeah. So I'll read Nick Minks's. She's also asked about the Red Sea. Maybe a one card pull on that, and then we've got to see when Trump's going to end. All right. Nick Minks, Taco Bell have pulled diarrhea-inducing lettuce from its menus. This is, pardon the pun, a flash in the pan, or does it indicate an increase in bugs from toxic food due to the regime's lifting of regulations? Now, guys, do you remember on the Wednesday show when we spoke about this? With our cards, we said there's something here to do with toxic water. And we said maybe it was the lettuce or the salad and stuff that the salad was washed in, which caused the problem. So that prediction that we made before this answer came out turned out to be true. Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it, what comes out in the card? So let's see here. Pardon the pan, flash. Is it a flash in the pan, or does it indicate an increase in bugs from toxic food due to the regime's lifting of regulations? Remember too as well that dream I had with what's his face, Bill Gates. Do you remember all the bugs that were coming out of him? Do you remember that dream where it said he visited and he took off his jacket and all these bugs came out and started covering the whole floor, and I had to hoover it up. And someone also told me he's bought a lot of land, but bugs can literally be also what? Tummy bugs. Yeah, bugs that make you sick. Interessante, for entertainment purposes only. All right, Taco Bell, flash in the pan, or is it more BS coming? God, as if the American people don't have to deal with enough crap as it is already. Now they're getting exploding diarrhea. And HIV infections are off the charts, by the way, guys. Sorry, they are. I think it's been reported in Chicago that there's at least 15 to 30,000 active cases in Chicago alone. Saw that on independent media. Won't catch that on the news. People catching all sorts. It's all the apps, isn't it? Super syphilis, super gonorrhea, you know, all these things. Anyway. Oh my God. Look who's back. Look who's back. Is that the third time, guys? Bloody hell. Well, death is making a big appearance this evening. Means Spirit's got a lot to say. Anyway, Taco Bell. But this card, the Queen of Pentacles, for me also deals with the domestic population, security. It's the card of security, domesticity, people at home. So a lot of people have been upset about this. Obviously, a lot of people have been affected by the exploding diarrhea. This also shows as well Taco Bell are wanting to get to the bottom of the problem, yeah, because they don't want to lose their place, their secure place. They want people to eat at their restaurants. Anyway, if we look here, we get the Justice card. So this can talk about legalities, challenges, contracts and agreements to be signed. They may sign some kind of agreement, maybe with a desalination plant or something like that. They have to do something to make sure that the food that they're serving is clean. It is a disaster for any catering company or firm if people eat your food and they get exploding diarrhea. You can lose that person forever. Yeah, so they might take some legal action or see what their legal options are. There may even need to be some kind of change in legislation. If we look here, we get the 9 of Wands. So Taco Bell are trying to muddle through, trying to get through, but they're feeling pretty beat up right now. This can also be talking about the people that have been unfortunate enough to get the food poisoning. They feel like they've been beat up, exploding diarrhea. We know how exhausting it can be. If we look here, yeah, look who's back. Oh my Lord, for the third time, Death card returns. So what does this mean? It can mean that some people can literally die from this stuff. You know, we can die from food poisoning. But again, this is a transformation that can't be avoided. As you know, the Death card came out when I was reading on us independent YouTubers. Yeah, we're going to have to change our ways, whether we want to or not, have alternative platforms. This also tells me as well that Taco Bell is going to have to change its ways, because once you've got the exploding bug, They're going to have to look at their whole inventory systems, their whole supply chain, everything, and change it ASAP. But if we look here, look, you see here, oh, look at this, and this really confirms it, doesn't it? You've got the Seven of Pentacles, which you know is my card of ROI, return on investment. But how appropriate? You see here, it's to do with the farming, yeah? What are they going to have to change? They're going to have to change the farming practices, or how they source their fruits and vegetables and what they are washed in, and also as well where they're getting their meat from. Yeah, this is a card of farming. So do you see how that perfectly expresses what is going on? They need to change their supply chains, because you can't have people sick or even dying from food poisoning. This is just, the reputational damage is just too severe. Yeah. So that's Taco Bell. So yeah, it's to do with the supply chain and what the things were washed in. And they're going to have to look at that. Whether the US government will do anything about it in particular, I doubt it. Isn't it? What is it that Kennedy likes to jump in them soiled rivers or whatever it is? That guy, what a nutbag, huh? What a nutbag. All right, let's do, oh, because we're getting close to time now. Let's, at Yellingfield, you probably ask me each week about when Trump's going to go. Let's try not to be too invested, but you know, worth a little kind of look. So Yellingfield says, how long will the US be dealing with Trump Maria? I think she's put here, Trump Maria, and what will put an end to it? Yeah. So as you guys know, I've been saying for a while, remember, Trump has a lot of dark protection around him. Remember too, when I was saying, look, he should have been dead years ago. However, do you remember when I was reading on his health and the in terms of the 22 physicians? Do you remember the 22 experts? And do you remember the magician card came up? And I said, they're moving heaven and hell to keep this guy alive. He's getting experimental treatments, all sorts of different kind of things to keep him alive, to keep that agenda going. So his time here on Earth is kind of artificial in a way. If he was a normal person, he would have gone ages ago, but he's not. He's the president of the United States, so he gets the best. All right, let's take a look. What's going on with Dr. Orange? Health and whatnot is now 80. Oh, look at that. You see how Spirit is speaking. Look at that. First card out, Five of Pentacles, which do with what? Ill health. He is struggling, you know. I'd almost feel sorry for him if he weren't so wicked. Oh, look. Gee, look at this. What's it this time? Gosh, the card's already jumping. But look, here, look, you can see it your way, but for me, it's reversed. That's a reversed card. Wow. Gotta see if we get any more jumpers. 976 of you here with me right now, so please be sure to like and subscribe. Remember, subscription is free, and hit the bell notification and hit all, yeah, just to help that algorithm. You see how stingy YouTube is getting with us? Honestly, I'll start my Patreon because I just don't know what's going on. They could just cut us off at any minute. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Dark Orange health. How much longer is this guy going to be around? What's going on, Ducky? What's going on, Ducky? Yeah, having to obey the netting. It's working hard. God, this is probably the hardest he's ever worked in his life. Yeah. Thought so. All right, here we go, folks. As you saw, car that fell out, Five of Pentacles, feeling out in the cold. Now, he's not feeling personally out in the cold, but let's not forget the Five of Pentacles also deals with what? Poor health. He is struggling, guys. They're probably trying to have to put every single freaking cocktail that they can imagine into this guy's body. Yeah. You can see here, out in the cold, ill health. This is also talking about his ratings as well. Yeah. It's in the kind of low 30s, still stubbornly high, but one of a lot of the local independent videos I've seen is that the Magatonians are struggling to leave family behind. Yeah, because once they leave MAGA, then they're losing their livelihoods, their spouses, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, we don't feel sorry for these people, but this is why the number is still stubbornly high. But he's also out in the cold, especially with obviously independents who just have fled. He's also out with the Latino vote as well. Of course, you know, they've been absolutely burnt and scorched earth, so they feel differently about things. So he's out in the cold with a lot of people, but also as well, this is talking about his health, which is not looking good. We look here. And this card actually came out for me reversed, yeah. So it is the Knight of Wands reversed. When the card is the right way right way round, it can talk about vigor, energy, passion, going forward with heat and intent. It can even talk about impulsiveness. However, when the card is reversed, this means things are hitting the skid, yeah. It can be almost the opposite. It is a lack of energy, a lack of oomph, and willingness to go out into the world. Yeah, he's looking tired, he's looking exhausted, he doesn't feel he's in control of his own life. If we look here though, oh gosh, he's working though. He's working on what? His money, his finance, his financial security. This is also a card of studiousness, so he's also learning. Yeah, this is also him kind of manipulating the markets, etc. But this could also be the energy of someone else putting him to work. Yeah, remember the netty. The netty is never far away. He's like, biatch, do what I want. Yeah, grind out those coins. Make us that money. Think of all the people that are invested, yeah, in war. War makes a lot of money for people. And as we know, Lindsey Graham was one of the main proponents of that, but now he's dead. So Trump is having to work harder. Yeah, behind the scenes. We may not notice it, but more is being asked of him. If we look here, Nine of Swords, worry. He's having nightmares, guys. Nightmares, worry, stress. He's like, oh, God. You know, this netty is just, oh. I mean, look, we know Trump is terrible. Don't get me wrong. But you know what I've always said? I said, Trump is diabolical, but I said the people around him are even worse. Yeah, even worse. He's feeling the stress. He knows that his health is not holding up. They're probably running out of drugs and combinations that they can put these things in. In the end, you might end up poisoning the patient. Yeah, so he's stressed. He's worried. What is he doing? We got the Four of Pentacles. He is holding on. Duck L'Orange is holding on for dear life. He's trying to hold on to his health. He's trying to hold on to his wealth. He's trying to hold on to his position. The midterms and stuff like that are coming up. It's not giving me dates in terms of, let's get the, how long will he be able to hold on? Let's get a clarification that way. I think it's very connected with the midterms. This is why he's trying to cheat as much as he can, as I predicted. Yeah. Let's have a look. In what ways is Duck L'Orange trying to hold on, particularly in the midterms? Let's have a look. What's going on? Oh, this guy's just a joke. Oh. Oh! Oh, did you see what came out? Wow. Well, guys, this has been quite a special reading tonight, isn't it? Because certain cards have come back. Now, do you remember what I always say? I say if cards return, this is Spirit's way of putting an exclamation mark or underlining something or putting a period there. Right. So I said, how does he hold on vis-a-vis like the midterms and stuff with this Four of Pentacles? Look, Seven of Cups, illusions, delusions, fantasies. Oh, he's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, he's trying to also as well. This is a card of obfuscation, confusion, trying to muddy the waters, coming up with all sorts of harebrained schemes to try and win. Yeah, but will it work? Oh, I don't know. Three of Swords. Like I said, I think it's too big to rig. Heartache, a sense of betrayal. I think there are too many people that are against Duck L'Orange now. Remember also as well, the former MAGAs are waking up. They're experiencing what? Heartbreak, sorrow, loss. It's making the scales fall from their eyes. And then look, guys. Look. Four of Swords comes back. Now, as you know, I associate this card more with death than the death card itself. So, but remember as well, this is also a card of what? Retirement. But you remember I said I also associate this card with what? A political career ending. So what I would say is we have to see what happens in the midterms. Yeah, Duck and Orange is already out in the cold. He's trying hard, what, to hold on to his health with via the Four of Pentacles. He's having nightmares, but he's having to work hard. Yeah, he's being pushed all the way. He had the Knight of Wands reversed. He's lacking the energy. It's like a flat battery. Yeah, like a flat battery. In regards to the midterms, he's delusional, but he's going to try every trick and obfuscation he can in the book. He's going to muddy the waters, try and cheat. But still the heartbreak is there. He's not going to like the results. And there are too many people that voted for him that are now heartbroken themselves and are either not going to vote or they're going to vote Democrat. And then this could potentially, well, we'll have to see. Look, when a person exits this earth, that is up to spirit. But it could certainly be extremely damaging for his presidency. May even end the presidency, potentially, or end the career. It may give people enough courage. Yeah, if the Republicans get an absolute shellacking, those people that have been holding on may finally abandon his positions. But you never know. Trump is extremely powerful, and he's got a lot of people. He's got a lot of dark magic, you know, around him. And there's something compelling about him. We hold the obsidian. Something he has that these people find irresistible. But the corruption is in them at the end of the day. And all those that voted for him, they have to own it as well. They need to own that shadow too. Yeah, they need to own that shadow too. Anyway, I will leave it there. 993 of you here with me. Such a 7 off 1,000, which isn't really bad at all, is it? So thank you, folks, for joining me. I will let you know about that Patreon, but in combination, I already acted anyway from that email of advice that I got. I'd already taken action, and I booked in time with the studio. It's going to be a completely different production value, by the way, the Patreon. But with this new legislation that has been passed in the UK, as you saw, and the other AI version that I got of it was even more stark and bleak, I don't think I have a choice, because they're obviously coming after the UK independent channels like mine as well. But anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here. Much appreciated. Mwah! Big love. Hopefully that little bit of lag wasn't a little bit too much. I think we kind of got through it. You know what? I'm probably going to have to do some kind of clearing on all this stuff before I even start, really. But it would require extra time. Anyway, never mind. I'm thinking out loud. Thank you so much for all the love and support, everyone. You will see me next week, of course, for Monday Madness. And, oh, I think I'm doing a collab with, no, I'm doing a collab with Chariot Palmistry, I think. I'll keep you posted. Anyway, big love and bye-bye for now. Cheers.